An inquiry by MPs has found that the UK's withdrawal from Afghanistan last year was a disaster and a betrayal that will damage the nation's interests for years. The Foreign Affairs Committee said there had been, quote, systemic failures of intelligence, diplomacy and planning. The chairman of the committee, Tom Tugendhat, said there had been a failure to lead at a time when lives were quite literally being lost. The Foreign Office defended its handling of the withdrawal and said it would look at the findings. Well, let's turn to a former British Army interpreter in Afghanistan, Zabi Ziarmal, who joins me now. He escaped with his wife and children, but still has family relations in Afghanistan. Welcome to you, and thanks for your time today. Let's start with those relations who are still in Afghanistan and the future for them. What are their lives looking like right now?
Hi, thank you for having me. Well, it's like a disaster, to be honest, and especially those interpreters who are left behind. And at least that could happen on the initial stages, like when the government was on place and nothing was changed at that time. But some people were rejected just for minor issues, and their case has been rejected, and they were not able to come over to UK. And that's one of the biggest challenges at that time. But the government could do better at that time. But now, still, the people who are left behind, some of them have escaped to Pakistan, to Iran, and some of them are displaced within Afghanistan and living in total, in total hiding.
Yeah. Zabi, I was listening to an interview this morning where it was almost presented events in Afghanistan with withdrawal as if it was Britain's decision to withdraw. That's not how it happened, was it? The reason the withdrawal happened, and happened in the chaotic way it did and so quickly with the loss of life that then ensued, was because of a decision taken in Washington by Joe Biden.
Yes, that's true, but that I would say that was a bad politics that have been played. At least they have run the government for almost 20 years, and they could have done better. And nobody would wanted to like the NATO forces to leave Afghanistan. Everyone was happy that especially Americans and British to stay there. And that was the initial plan, but later on that changed.
Zabi, just a final thought on your situation now. And it's a lot of people who came from Afghanistan have ended up in hotels. What's your story?
Well, I came on August of the 12th, and then I stayed for 12 days in a hotel in Manchester, and then I was moved to Staines, Middlesex. So I stayed there for almost 3 months, and it was boring and exhausting. And somehow the time was just passing, and the kids were not going to school, and a lot of things could have happened in that time frame. But looks like the process was very slow. But maybe that was just because of the chaos happened in Afghanistan, and a lot of people came in.
It may have been slow and tedious and boring, but I think we can all probably agree it was better than the alternative in Afghanistan. Zabi Ziarmal, thanks very much indeed for your time. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
Andrew Pearce is alongside me. It was a foul-up, an almighty foul-up, but
terrible.
It was. I mentioned Tom Tugendhat in the introduction there, chairman of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee. People like Tom Tugendhat, you could see the train coming down the track, powerless to do anything about it. Once the Americans had made up their minds, that was that.
Well, but we knew that Biden was taking the troops out. They had months to prepare. They should have been getting those people out much sooner. My own newspaper campaigned long and hard to get some of those interpreters out. They risked their lives for this country, for the government, for the troops, and some of them are still there. And shame on the government over that.
Yeah, and we're about to talk about Boris Johnson. I don't think, broadly, I'm a fan of our Prime Minister, but I think the idea of putting dogs and cats on a plane ahead of...
Oh, come on. Yeah, and there is no doubt he got involved in that. And to the fury of Ben Wallace, the Defence Secretary, who's one of the really good guys in the cabinet. I mean, his fury was unbridled.
Yeah,
because troops, human beings first.
Yeah. Andrew, for now, thanks very much.